Hi, and welcome to Cat Run Figures. I'm your host, Caitlin, and today we are going to be reviewing Peepland, issue 3. So, once again, this is the tale of a bunch of sleazy people who happen to be wrapped up in a murder. So, there's a girl who literally works at the peep show, and she has happened across a tape that could prove that a very important man's son just murdered a young girl. And then we also get to see that her best friend, who also works at the peep show, her son has been framed for this murder. He's a good boy. He's innocent of everything. He was just walking around. And now they've handed the tape off to someone who is now trying to blackmail this individual for possession of the tape. So, getting right on into the comic, we get to see at the peep show, Roxy, our main character, is bored and just trying to go on about her day. So she runs into Aisha, her best friend, and she wants to know about Z being Aisha's son, and how they have to get him out of there. And Aisha's basically saying she doesn't need Roxy's help. She needs money to get her son free from all of this. Well, she might have a tape that proves that her son is completely innocent of everything. So, continuing on, we get to see at the police station the very same woman that Dirty Dan was filming, who actually was there when the entire murder happened, comes forward, and she tells the police officers that that boy's innocent. He wasn't even there. It was a white boy who actually murdered the girl. And she says that she would never have done something like that, but went a little crazy while in the big city. Also, she's fearful for her life. If you're wondering why I'm not necessarily showing you close-ups for all these images, it is a very adult comic. There's a lot going on. So, the very same individual who decided to blackmail our important head is now getting the ever-loving shit beaten out of him. Basically, they're not willing to pay any kind of blackmail, and instead they're going to torture him to get what they want. Well, little do they know, he's kind of greedier than he is interested in handing it over, or keeping his fingers, apparently. So, continuing on into the sleazy world of Peepland, we get to see a really bad situation with a young girl being pressured by a pimp. Not really going to show that. But what's important is one of the main characters in this is actually holding up this pimp slash drug dealer slash just really low life scummy individual, holding him up, shooting up the place, and trying to take his stash in order to get quick cash to give to Aisha to bail her son out. So I'm just going to block that whole bit out right there because, topless chick. But
hey, it's art. You're allowed to. Right there you just are.
Anywho, they escape with the money, and you get to see it was AJ and her friends, and she gives it to Aisha, stating to get her son out. And Aisha says, it's not right. How did you come across this money? And she tells her not to worry about it. It's been taken care of. So she's just happy that she's going to be able to get her son out. Continuing on, we get to see Roxy going to the CBGB. Very famous place. But her boyfriend is on stage playing, and she runs into somebody who makes her very uncomfortable. Then we get to see a little bit of a flashback. I guess there was kind of a little threesome between her boyfriend, and this girl.
To show him.
Okay, but
You can't get flagged for that.
okay.
Whatever.
Okay, but I guess she fell in love with Roxy, and she's really wanting Roxy to admit that she cares about her just as much. Roxy doesn't seem to, and she kind of just wants her to leave her alone, so there's a really uncomfortable stance there. And when her boyfriend finally gets off stage, he's asking why she was around with Kate, whether or not they're still actually, and Roxy shoots him down, stating, no, they're not. They never were. So they both decide that they have to go back to that apartment. They have to get that tape to prove Z's innocence. Of course, what they don't know is the very same sleazeball who is supposed to be working on the tape for them decided to try to blackmail the individuals in order to get a bunch of money. Well, now he's gonna get murdered in his apartment for that tape. It happens, it happens. But on a lighter note, Aisha does get her son out, and he doesn't understand where she could have possibly come up with the money for it, and she just tells him it's all going to be fine now. It's all going to be fine now. She's just happy that her son is home, which, any parent would just be happy to have their child back. But continuing, very same sleazeball in his apartment with the tape. Yeah, they decided that that apartment and that guy needs to go up in flames. So we get to see Roxy and her boyfriend walking up from the subway, and then they see that the very same individual's apartment is now on fire. So, holy shit. I don't think they're getting that tape back. But I gotta tell you, I have really been enjoying Peepland. I know this is definitely not for all ages. This is a very mature comic. There is a lot of nudity, a lot of violence. I love it. I love it. It reads very well. It's written quite well. The art is fantastic throughout. Definitely, if you don't like mature comics, I would not touch this. Do not throw that at me, Mark. I see it. So give me a like if you like this video. Comment below and tell me whether or not you're actually picking up Peepland, if you're enjoying it as much as I am. Subscribe to my channel for more comic book content, or check out any of my older videos I have up for offer here on Cat Run Figures. And until next time, I'm your host, Caitlin. Bye. Really?